Spoilers if you even care. In 2017, a bunch of people were overreacting about this thing called the Emoji Movie because it looked like a lame attempt at clout chasing. But then, earlier this January, me and my swagalicious homies decided to watch it for shits and giggles and... Wait, they were right? Yeah, if you look past the exaggeration and people who forced themselves to feel the same way, the Emoji Movie was actually bad. And the main thing I want to talk about right away is the god-awful world building. I'm not even kidding, man. You'd think they'd at least get that right, since that's like one of the main selling points, but no. So in this kid's iPhone is a little universe, and one of the worlds is the phone's texting app, and in this app is a little society where emojis live and go to work and shit, but they're also expected to act the same way forever, otherwise they're a malfunction and must be trashed and killed. And the main thing to do in this world is that one of each type of emoji has to go to this big fucking texting center and stand around in these cubes all day in case the kid who owns the phone maybe ends up using one of them in a message. To which this giant mechanical hand then has to be manually operated to select and scan the emojis to like beam their appearance into the text bar, I guess. Yeah, so the first plot hole I want to point out is why can't they just leave some standees in place of the living emojis? There's the whole scanning thing I just mentioned, but what is it scanning for? Does it have to verify if said emojis are the ones available on the phone that the humans are aware of? Nope, Apple doesn't have to design their own because the scanner can send emojis that the humans clearly don't recognize. Does the scanner have to verify if the emojis are authentic? I don't think so. That seems really inefficient and like it's not a big deal if they change things up at all. They're literally just pictures at the end of the day. Is the scanner some kind of camera? Probably not, because that's just not tech enough for this setting. Does the scanner have to scan the emojis every time it's used? Yes, it does, because I guess the texting world has never heard of storage and memory, which has existed since computers were like first invented. Okay, enough with the scanner. How about some societal stuff? Why do they leave their cubes at all? If the texting world is supposed to represent order and routine, and the kids in the movie text and use emojis a lot since they struggle to socialize in real life, what's gonna happen when the main kid's phone doesn't load the emojis all night every night? He's taking that shit to the Apple Store and getting it wiped. Actually, you wanna know what the worst plot hole is? I'll tell you, but first I need to bring you up to speed on the main emoji, Gene. So Gene is a meh emoji, but he also can't stay a meh emoji. He laughs and cries and shit, and because of that everyone thinks there's something wrong with him. So the fucking smile emoji tells him he's a malfunction and that he must be killed so everything can return to business as usual. But then later on, we learn that his dad is the same way, and since this guy is like a professional, it made me think, the way they present this makes it seem like it's not a choice, like being a gamer. But unlike the urge to hop on Minecraft with the boys, being more emotive is something you can control. So why can't Gene's dad just teach him to do exactly that? I was gonna say society, but then I remembered that he didn't need that, just like how he didn't need the feminist emoji to fix him, because he became an actual meh after she friend-zoned him. Also, can movies stop forcing their characters to fuck things? So wait, does that mean it is a choice, and it can be fixed? I mean, maybe they can't express it, but they sure can feel other things. So like, are Gene's parents just depressed or something? Or maybe Gene has Tourette's, and the ending. Ooh, I can't stand. So we already know this thing with the phone being wiped and restored, it doesn't make sense, but let's start here, okay? The way they save the world is by making Gene less meh and then scanning him really slowly while he cycles through faces so they can send a super emoji to the kid's crush to get him laid, and that convinces him to not get his phone reset after all. But first of all, the girl never actually asks him how he did that, must have just been a new update, and the kid also just accepts that his phone doesn't fucking work, as if the two of them somehow realized just now that iPhones are actually organic ecosystems. Also, he did multiple faces in one scan the first time he did this. Why didn't that send out as a super emoji? Is it because it was too early for that? Did the phone actually get a new update? I don't know, man. And the emojis still have to do their job afterward. Wouldn't it make more sense for at least Gene to decide that he doesn't want to work in his cube thingy? Theming, man, how could you forget? You You were so obsessed with making sure literal babies could understand the movie's lessons, even though children don't like being treated like children, but you couldn't have any negative yet fitting consequences. It's just Deadpool 2 all over again. But worse than all of that, there's just nothing to care about. Not that it's boring or anything, but there's just not much to it. And even for the stuff that is interesting, you've probably seen it a million times before, and it's probably not even that deep anyway. The feminist emoji didn't want to be a princess. How insightful. Gene is harassed for being different, and in the end learns that his malfunction isn't a disability, but just a different ability. Good for him, I guess. The high five guy is the funny one, and apparently learns that popularity isn't important. Wait, why is he so nice then? He doesn't have to be likable. In fact, he shouldn't be. And I'm sure it would be a positive for James Corden haters to see his character be a huge asshole. Or maybe they would find it more annoying. I don't actually know anything about James Corden. I just wanted to hop on that bandwagon. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this movie sucks, but I'd rather watch this than the Sandy Cheeks movie.